Hey everyone, Austin back again with another long play video. This time it's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers for the 8-bit Nintendo. Now, this is one I actually wasn't expecting on doing. I know I say that every time I do a long play video, but I actually just picked this up the other day, literally like 2 days ago, to add to the old NES collection. I was over at East Starland trying to figure out what I wanted to buy, and yeah, I saw this, and it was one I played a lot as a kid. I knew I could do a long play of it pretty easily. And it was one I just wanted to add to the collection, period. So I did, and now we have this long play. So, yeah, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, one of the many pretty good Disney games for the 8-bit Nintendo. There's been a lot of coverage on this game on YouTube and, you know, internet reviews and things like that over the last few years. But this is one I actually personally played a lot as a kid, and a lot as a kid, actually. And I was a very young kid, too. I was like... oh geez, I was probably in like kindergarten or first grade or something like that. I was very, very young when I was really playing this game a lot. And ironically, even back then, I don't remember this game being difficult at all. It was one I was able to run through pretty quickly, a lot, and you know, apparently I've been able to kind of hold on to that skill all these years later. Just from being familiar with it as a young kid. So I'm 29 now, actually, so to be honest with you, it's been quite a while since I've really played this game seriously, so it was kind of interesting doing this long play. But might be getting off track a little bit, but you know, to be honest, I wasn't actually really feeling this long play, if you know what I mean. I just wasn't really in the mood to play this game. Like, I bought it at the store. I was like, yeah, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, let's do a long play of it and let's give it some time. And when I started playing it, I was like, yeah, I'm not really digging this. And what it is that I don't think I enjoyed this game as much as I did as a kid. It's not like Mega Man, it's not like Castlevania, it's not like Ninja Gaiden, where I like those games just as much now, actually probably more now than I actually did as a kid. This game, on the other hand, is just, I don't know, it's a good game, but I think it's just so easy, and just the way like the hit detection works sometimes, and you know, the kind of repetitive nature of just picking up boxes all the time, I don't know, it doesn't interest me anymore. But if you've never played this game before, you might still want to check it out. You probably have checked this game out already if you're watching this video. It's a full run of the game, so... But if you haven't, you know, you might still want to check it out. I wouldn't go out and pay like 15 bucks for it. You know, guys like the Happy Video Game Nerd will gloat about this game, and for good reason, but this is one of those games that I spent a lot of time with, and it should probably just be left in the past for me. It's one that I probably won't play again anytime soon, unless someone really wants me to for some odd reason. But it is still a good game, though. There's just something about it that just doesn't strike a chord with me anymore. So, but it's not like DuckTales. I still like to go back to DuckTales, and I still like to go back to Darkwing Duck, but it's just something about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers that, you know, hasn't stuck with me over the years. But, okay, more on to the game itself. After every level, you go to these bonus stages, and then the very top middle red box is always a 1-up. So what I try to do is I try to pick up a few boxes and then go straight to the 1-up at the top. You get a ridiculous amount of 1-ups in this game. I'm talking, like, just a crazy amount. I think, towards later on in the game, I hit the select button just for shits and grins, and it turns out I have like 19 lives or something like that. I've had playthroughs where I've had many more lives than that. It's crazy. So you get tons of extra lives, adding to the, you know, the ease of getting through this game. It's not a difficult game at all. And that's not to say there aren't some tricky parts, because there are some tricky parts in this game. And even, like, for instance, this stage right here, if you try to run up the screen way too fast, you're gonna get hit by these, like, ninja squirrels or whatever that come flying down. And actually, the first few times I tried doing this video, I got hit by them a lot, because I was trying to do a speed run, more or less, or somewhat speed run. My speed runs are never, like, super speed runs, but, you know, they're quick. They're quick, but not the best. Let me actually clarify on that story a little bit. Well, for one, if you go through this part too quickly, you'll probably end up getting hit because you are pretty high up on the screen. But when I first did this long play, I actually didn't want to sit through all the story. I didn't want to pick up all the boxes because, like I was saying, I didn't really feel like playing this game. But running through the game quickly was something I've never really done before, and I mean like speed running it. I mean like missing all the boxes, jumping over enemies, crap like that. I never normally did in this game, so I kept getting hit and I kept dying. I was like, I would die on like level 2 or 3, which is a really stupid place to die in my opinion. And I do die in this mode, but it's at the last boss, and it's really stupid as well. I shouldn't have died, but point is, I wanted to have at least a decent run. You know, I wanted to get through most of the game without dying if I could, like in all my other long play videos. If you watch my other long plays, I don't die very often, maybe once or twice in each video. Firepower 2000 a little bit different. I think I died more, and Twin Cobra on Nintendo. But so I don't like uploading these videos when I've died 1,000 times. So trying to do the speedrun just was not working, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and just, you know, play safely through the game like I'm used to. So that's what I'm doing here. You see me picking up every box on the screen, most of the boxes on the screen anyways, you know, just so I can survive, just so I don't stupidly run into things I normally wouldn't run into. So so yeah, we're on what, level 3? Now we're on level 3. These kangaroo guys, they're not too tricky. You can just duck and shoot your boxes if you're kind of up a plane a little bit higher than them. They're not very difficult at all. Just take your time. And there's an extra life right there. And I don't remember exactly how you trigger extra lives. I think it's by picking up the flower power-ups or the flower icons, and it might be something like if you get 100, you get that extra life star. I do get the extra life star quite a few times in the game, and I know I get several hundred of these flower icons, so I have a feeling that might be what it is. I haven't looked at the instruction manual in a while, so yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So you'll notice that there's that little bug. If you actually hold a box and you run through a hole like that, and you keep running, the box will disappear when you get on the next screen, but your arms will still be hanging up in the air, which is always kind of funny. So as long as you don't stop, your arms will still be hanging up in the air. It's pretty funny. But as you probably noticed already, some stages don't have boss fights. Wait, actually, no, you haven't noticed already, because that hasn't happened yet. But this stage actually does not have a boss fight. So some stages do not have boss fights, and that's kind of a shame. It would have been nice if every stage had a boss fight, just to mix things up. But this stage does not. You just go straight to the end, and that's it. And now I got that little P icon from that box, and to be quite honest with you, I don't know what it does. I have no idea what it does. I don't remember. So this might not be the most informative long play, but you know, there's instruction manuals of this game floating online. You can check out like on Nintendo Age, and I'm sure there's also a walkthrough on GameFAQs or something like that. Alright, so now we got these faucets, and you just jump on them 3 times, I believe. 1, 2, 3, yep. And they disappear. You don't want to touch the water, obviously, because it deals damage to you. And dealing damage to you in this game is usually not good because you only get 3 hits. Now this part right here, try not to get hit because if you fall in the pots, it's instant death. Yep. So don't do it. I actually did it when I was trying to speedrun. And I don't think I had ever died in the pots before in my entire life, because I don't remember that you could die in the pots. I just thought that maybe you got hurt and you got, you know, thrown back up or something, but no, you just disappear, you die. So don't do it. There are a lot of enemies in this game, a lot of different ones. Most of them are just very simplistic. They just kind of like go back and forth. Or they just kind of randomly come out and shoot something that's probably not going to hit you if you're not too stupid about it. Like these little guys right here, they're not very tricky. They just kind of morph into you to kind of confuse you, I guess. Probably to confuse you if you're on 2-player mode. On 1-player mode, it's kind of hard to get confused by them just because, yeah, you're in control of your character. But, you know, 2-player mode, there's more going on the screen at once, so it might be a little bit easier to get lost in the shuffle. But there's one thing I forgot to mention, is that this game does have a great 2-player mode, and it is a lot of fun playing in 2-player. You can actually pick each other up, which makes for an interesting experience. I recall doing that quite a bit when I was a kid, and it was good times. Actually, one of my buddies, one of my lifelong buddies actually, whom I ironically don't really see that much anymore. You know, we're both adults and life has gotten pretty busy for both of us, or more so him, I guess. But we have memories of playing this game as kids. It was like, again, like kindergarten, 1st grade, maybe 2nd grade. It was very early in elementary school, and we're still, you know, great friends today. So whenever we reminisce of the old times, we always bring up this game. So I think he particularly remembers it because his mom didn't let him have a Nintendo back in the day. He was one of those kids, one of the few kids I knew actually that wasn't allowed to have video games in the house. And I think he was able to have a Game Gear, and later maybe a Game Boy, and he was able to take things on the road, but he was never able to have a full-on console. And so he didn't actually get a whole lot of normal gaming in until the Nintendo 64. They didn't let him have a full-on game system till the N64. So that was a long period without, you know, a full setup console in their house. But so I think that might be another reason why why he always remembers this game. He would come over to my house, we'd play Chip and Dale. Good times, memories. Well, again, like I was saying, this is kind of like one of those games that I have a lot of memories of as a kid, and it's got some emotional attachment, but it's not one I really enjoy playing all that much anymore. It's just it's a very simplistic game. I mean, you could say that for most NES games, but there's just something about it that just gets repetitive today. I don't really, you know, I just don't really feel like playing it, so, but, again, not to say it's a bad game, because it's not. It's a good game, and, I don't want to get any, flame, spam, mail, or something like that, just because of my opinions, but that's how I feel today. You know, I've technically been playing this game for over 20 years now, and that's kind of a long time. So, now this part right here, you got these switches, just throw boxes at them. Most of the concepts in this game are extremely simplistic like that, and I don't know why the hell I got hit there. And I don't know why the hell I turned this switch on for some odd reason. My mind just was not with me when I was playing this. But still, that part's not difficult at all if you just stop and look. These sort of jack-in-the-box sort of things, just wait for them to go. I think they bounce around 3 or 4 times and then they go through. And those guys, as you saw, well, those sort of bouncy guys down below, just hit them once and then they'll sort of flatten out and you can just run beneath them. And those bouncing boxes, just try to aim right when you throw your boxes. If you miss, you can actually just run underneath them, if you just time it right. Oops, I missed some of those flowers back there. No big deal, there's hundreds more to get, I'm sure. So, There's another extra life. Tons of extra lives in this game, and shortly I'm sure I will hit select and show you how many flowers I have, how many extra lives I have, and whatnot. As you get farther into the game, the flowers, they start appearing more and more, or in bigger groups anyways. Not really more and more, so to say, but they'll appear in larger clumps, as you've noticed in this level. So it is a little more fun kind of collecting them as you get farther into the game. But again, as far as I know, they're really only good for extra lives. Pretty sure that's what it is anyways. The flowers though, and the stars, and yeah, basically just those two. I think that's basically the measurement of score in this game. And there's some hidden stars you can get if you jump in certain spots. If you pick up certain boxes, stars will appear. Actually, you know what? The star 1-ups might be related to how many stars you get. It might not be flowers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at the instruction manual or something like that, but I think that's basically your measurement of score in this game. I don't recall you actually getting normal points in this game, so attacking enemies doesn't really matter as far as I remember. But it's just kind of more for fun, to just kind of clear out the screen just because you can. But you know, like I was saying, the flowers and the stars are basically your measurement of score. So if you find all the hidden areas, then you know you've done well. I have no idea where all the hidden areas are. I know of a couple, like in the very second level, there's one box you pick up, you jump, and a star appears. Nothing too special. Actually, if you rewind and go back to the second level, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's right towards the beginning of the stage before the whole vertical portion starts up. So, if you want to really play for score in this game, you kind of can. It's about just picking up all the flowers. There are some parts where you have to kind of position yourself in an inappropriate manner in order to get the flowers. It's kind of one of those things you kind of just gotta plan ahead in advance. Actually, I don't recall exactly which level it is, but I'll let you know when I get there. But there's actually a portion of flowers that I miss, and I should have gotten, but it required me to pick up one of those silver blocks, the blocks that you can't just toss them across the screen. When you toss them, they just drop right in front of you. There we go, I'm up to 13 lives already. But there's a place you can only reach by tossing down one of those silver blocks and jumping on them, and I forget to do that, and so I miss out a whole bunch of flower icons. So you'll see that as the video moves on. Here's this little hammer you get, kind of a neat little mix-up. I like that, and not very useful though. Aside from that, you can kill enemies with it, and I believe I'll kill this box. But be careful when trying to kill him, because the distance is very short on the hammer. It's a lot safer to just use boxes in this game. I think this is another one of those stages that doesn't have a boss. I'm pretty sure anyways. And one thing I forgot to note earlier is these little bombs that you can pick up. If you do something, they can explode nearby and they can hurt you, so just be careful about that. I usually just try to toss them straight through an enemy. No sense in letting them explode. I think if you tap B one more time, they might explode, because they have exploded on me before. Either that, or it's when they hit a wall or something like that, they explode. I'm not sure entirely. Oh, it does have a boss. Ah ha ha. I was wrong. I'm trying to get fancy with this guy and see if I can hit him twice by shooting it towards across the screen, but it wasn't working, so the bosses in this game are typically ridiculously easy, so it's not like you have to do a whole lot of work with them anyways, so you're usually best off just throwing the boss straight up and dodging whatever they throw out. So Okay, this is actually the level where there's a bunch of flowers that I miss. I think this is the level. But guys, we're basically halfway through the game already. It's a fairly short game. It's even shorter if you don't try to pick up every box like I've been doing. So yeah, we're close to the end already. We've got 4 more stages, I believe, and then that's it. So, well, I'll say 4.5 because we just started this stage. But and those big bird enemies, they take 2 hits. So it's best to just kind of avoid them. I mean, unless you're really quick with it, but yeah, just avoid them. And this stage actually has one of the trickiest parts, which is right here. This part never gave me a problem when I was a kid, but the last few playthroughs I had, for some reason I died quite a few times. Don't remove these boxes, keep them there as safety, because this is kind of like Contra. As you go up the screen, and if you fall and there's no box to save you, you die. However, something interesting happens here is when you get high enough up, something appears at the bottom of the screen. It's like an orange tint or something, and right there. And I was supposed to die there, but I didn't. So I don't know if it's like a glitch in the game, but it's happened multiple times on multiple playthroughs of this for me, because I did play through this game once or twice before doing a long play, and then I did play it a couple more times while trying to do the previous long plays. So, and that's happened every time. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen or what. So it is still a tricky part though, especially on that lower portion. Make sure you're careful, otherwise you will die if you fall down. So, as you can see, many more flower icons, which is always nice if you want those, well, those 1-ups. Or maybe it's the stars that give you the 1-ups. Again, I have no idea. I should actually be looking on Google while I'm recording this, but I don't want to have all those keyboard clacks in the background. You know what? Screw it. Let's go on Google, guys. Alright. Actually, I'm going to try Nintendo Age first, because I want to see if there's an actual scan of the instruction manual. That would be even more fun, instead of just looking up game facts or something. Yep, they got a scan of the instruction manual. And where is it? Oh, okay. So this is how it works, guys. If you collect 50 flower icons, you get the 1-up star. If you collect 10 stars, you get another 1-up star. So there's lots of ways to get 1-ups in this game. So that explains that. Oh, the black bombs, it says player must throw these quickly. So, okay, the bombs, once you pick them up, they actually explode in a certain amount of time. Which is how, oh, okay, sorry, which explains the fact that sometimes they've exploded for me and sometimes they have not. So you cannot trigger them manually. You have to actually just pick them up and toss them. If you hold on to them for too long, it'll explode like a grenade in your face. So, interesting. It's always good to bust out these old instruction manuals every now and then. I probably should do like scans through the video here, but I'm not going to. That's too much work. It takes long enough to do these long plays as they are. I have to record the whole game, then I have to re-record the voice on top of the game. Yeah, so I already got to do enough work as it is, spend enough time. I mean, not so much work, it's not hard work, it's just time spent. Time spent when I have a lot of other things and projects to do, so. So this is kind of like, I don't know, like a segue in the game. You take a little rocket up, you come back down, the stages are a little bit different. Unfortunately, there's only 3 more stages, and that's it. It's not like a full other map. I think it would have been good if they could have fit a full other map in the game, but, you know, I can't complain. This game's over 20 years old, so... Oh, no, actually, this is the stage where I missed a bunch of flowers. I got it confused with the other one, because it has a similar look, and it has the same music, too. But guys, now we're officially very close to the end of the game. That's the block right there I was supposed to pick up, and I was supposed to drop it right here to get up there, and I can't get up there, so... Oops, no big deal. But if you're playing this game for yourself, you know to grab that block and pick up those flower icons, because every 50 gives you an extra life. So far I've done pretty well. I haven't died yet, as far as I know. But I do die at the final boss, which is kind of sad, because he's not really hard. No boss in this game is hard. It's all the bosses are pretty easy. So I feel kind of stupid, but I wasn't going to go ahead and record this whole playthrough again just to not die at the last boss. I figured I could deal with dying once in this game. It's not too shameful. And for new players, will probably die a few times, but people that have played this game quite a bit probably should not die. Especially if you're taking your time like I have in this one. I'm just picking up every box, I'm waiting to see what comes ahead. I'm not just bolting right through the game. God, I wonder how many extra lives I'm up to right now. For those of you guys that don't normally watch my long plays, I actually record the footage first, and then I go back and I record the voiceover later. So it's not completely like a Let's Play, because these are like Let's Plays, but they're not. Where Let's Plays are typically you play it at the same time as you're recording. And I could do that, but I feel it's better for me to get a better playthrough down in footage first before I go and do the voiceover. For one, it gives me more opportunity to talk about what I'm actually doing on screen without holding up the gameplay. And two, I can kind of compose my thoughts a little bit better when I'm not having a controller in my hand and having to deal with fans and tacks on the ground and all that kind of crap. So I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, I like to do the footage first. That's kind of my style of doing it. And so I call these long plays. I don't call them Let's Plays. I mean, I'll tell people I do Let's Plays, but in reality, it's not quite the same. It's pretty similar. It's pretty damn similar, but I'm not playing it at the same time. So The other good thing about that is if I need to take a break or something, I don't have to pause the game while I'm recording. So, which I've already done. I've taken a break or two already, just to go do something real quick. But these guys, those big mouth dudes, you have to actually shoot their feet. If you shoot their mouth, they'll actually eat the box and they'll toss it right back at you. So be careful about that. Those are probably the trickiest enemies on this stage. Every other enemy, as far as I can tell, is just a regurgitation of enemies on older stages. Whenever I get the invincibility power up, I try to just bolt right through the stage. Save some time a little bit. Might miss a few icons, but no big deal. Because I've already got hundreds of them. And dozens of extra lives by this point. And when you attack this guy, always move straight to the center. His pieces will split out and bounce, leaving the center portion open. If you try to move anywhere else on the screen, you're a little more likely to get hit. It's a little bit harder to, you know, to position yourself. It's easy to just go straight to the middle for me. That's how I work anyways, so. "24 lives, it's amazing." Alright guys, well this is it. This is the last level, and admittedly this last level actually is kind of tricky. It's definitely the hardest level in the game, and the difficulty actually just kind of ramps up a lot in this stage. You have to be really careful. There's not a lot of room to dodge enemies. As you can see right there, I tried dodging that guy, and I got hit. And I think I get hit once more. And then I'm pretty careful the rest of the way through, and I managed to not get hit until the boss. So I got some life, that's always good. Those little acorns give you life in this game. They'll give you 1 pellet. I think there might be blinking ones that give you more. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I wasn't really paying attention with it because I never did get hit all that much, so I never really had to care about the acorns. But I'm pretty sure the blinking ones will give you all your life, and the standard ones will just give you 1 piece. Now, you really don't want to die from this point on, because if you do, you have to start all the way back at that room, that door I just came through. And this last segment is actually fairly long for what it is, compared to the rest of the game anyways, so it's good to not die here, because again, this is the trickiest stage in the game in my opinion. So just take your time with these guys. These crocodile dudes, they shoot their hats out. If you're just bolting along as quick as you can, you're probably going to get hit by their hats because they'll throw it out before you even have time to react. So take your time, throw every box you can, and playing through this game a few times helps too, so you can kind of predict where the enemies come from. For instance, in this next part, after these axes you have to turn off. Kind of a gimmick. It's not really hard to turn them off. It's actually easier than the the balls you have to turn off earlier on in the game. This guy right here is a little bit tricky, kind of a pain. And there you go again. I ran too fast, got hit by his hat, and for some reason I killed that guy in 1 hit. Normally they take 2 hits, so that was magical. Would have been a shame to die, because then I would have had to go all the way back. But now I'm going to die at the last boss, which means I get to just respawn at the last boss. That's another reason why the bosses are really easy in this game, is that when you die, there's no punishment. You don't go back to the beginning of the stage or something like that. It's not like Mega Man, or, well, Mega Man, at least you start right before the boss. It's not like Castlevania or Ninja Gaiden where you have to go back quite a ways and backtrack. So, I was under the impression his cigar never moved, and it did, and that's what killed me. And I don't ever remember his cigar moving like that, but it does. So, you're gonna have to reposition yourself whenever his cigar moves, so just keep an eye on that especially if you only have 1 hit point left. But regardless, that's it. He's still a cakewalk, and that is the end of the game, guys. That is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers for the 8-bit Nintendo. Yeehaw! So, alright guys, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Thanks for watching. For you guys new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. If you like long plays or let's plays, you can actually check my front page. I've got a playlist for just long plays, so check them out. I've got quite a few in my back catalog, and I've got a few on the way as well. Actually, right after this one, I'm going to be recording my next long play. And I try to space them out a little bit, space them between each other, so I'm not doing just long plays. I do casual talking plays, and I do full-on reviews too. So, but if you like these Let's Plays and long plays, you know, feel free to subscribe, and you know, check my back catalog if you want to see some other games. So, to everybody else, thanks for watching as usual, and I'll be back with some new videos sometime soon. So until then, take care, guys.